So the first thing is, what's mouth breathing all about? And mouth breathing is a sign of something's not right, because breathing through the mouth is not the best physiological way to breathe. And if a child, adult, is breathing through their mouth, then you need to go, right, that's not a diagnosis. So mouth breathing is not a diagnosis. And the question then comes to, all right, is there an underlying physical cause that's causing limitation of airflow through the nose that means that this person has to mouth breathe as a result of compensating for that obstruction and blockage? And from that point of view, the research and the science is actually really helpful. So the research and the science shows that around about 80 to 90% of the time when there's mouth breathing present, and I'm talking about persistent mouth breathing. I'm not talking about mouth breathing that is because they've got a cold or a flu or those sorts of things. So persistent mouth breathing, that in 80-90% of the time there is actually a physical obstruction to airflow that is reducing the ability to adequately breathe through the nose, which means the mouth needs to come into play. And when we then look further as to what constitutes those 80 to 90%, there's a combination of things. So amongst the most common things, probably the two most common, would be problems with the adenoids. So adenoids are at the back of the nose, so they're not actually within the nose themselves. So we have the nose, the nasal passages, and behind those nasal passages we have a space, which we call the postnasal space, or if you want to be fancy, the nasopharynx. And that's where the adenoids reside. And if the adenoids get too big, then the ability to breathe through the nose is compromised, hence the mouth breathing. And then the second one would be problems with the turbinates. So turbinates are swellings within the nasal passages. They're natural structures, they're supposed to be there. And as a result of things, in particular hay fever and allergy, they will swell up. And that swelling we can often manage, with medication and so forth, but we need to see if that's what's causing it. So the whole thing about mouth breathing is looking for the cause.